Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation.
It's time to join the conversation.
All right, welcome to another exciting episode of Hardheaded. I'm Troy Trussell, your host this evening or morning, whenever you're listening. With me, as always, is Mr. Chet Sears and Mr. Matt Amos. This is episode 156. We were going to dive in to what is on Matt's mind very soon, and then we're going to have a top 3 overused hunting terms, because there's a ton of them. And then we're going to follow it up. Chet's going to give us a good word at the end. But to start it all off, Matt, what is happening? What is on your mind, sir?
Not a lot. I'm going to be
News flash.
completely honest.
Flash.
But I was going to talk today about Black Friday, and
Okay.
I don't.
Which was last week.
Last week. I don't ever partake in the day.
Yeah.
I don't ever go to a store
Right.
on Black Friday just out of
The festivities.
Right.
It's not even festive. It's atrocious. And so I was going to go on this whole rant because I thought that I would have just these videos of people just going crazy this year.
Right.
And guess what?
Nobody does it anymore.
They did last year.
Did they?
Nobody went crazy this year.
I believe people went crazy this year. They just didn't put it out in the media.
Maybe,
The same people that go
maybe.
crazy on Black Friday have been looting all year. It's Black Friday whenever they want.
That's true.
They're going crazy every day.
But what's
Like CVS, we're coming for you.
it's I was trying to think of
Lock it up, Walgreens. I'm coming to get some of the whatever they have at Walgreens.
medicine,
Humidifiers?
Chocolate.
ankle braces. I don't know. But I was going to go and kind of talk about that a little bit. But it was just kind of funny to me. I was watching a movie, and I can't remember the name of the movie off the top of my head, but it was almost kind of like a mix between Hunger Games and I can't think of the other movie.
Predator.
But it was like Hunger Games.
The Running Man.
No,
That was like it.
but
Kind of was. They got thrown into an arena.
Yeah.
well,
Gladiator.
what's the new one? Mel Gibson was in it a long time
Mad
ago.
Max.
Mad Max. So the new one.
Beyond
Right.
Thunderdome.
No, the new one.
Fury Road.
Fury Road.
Gotcha.
When they have all
The
the
one
peop-
that's not really that good.
the one that's awesome.
No, it's
if you have a killer sound system, it is probably the most awesome.
I saw it in the
movie.
theater. It was pretty
It's
cool.
incredible.
It's not a good story.
Well,
And the acting's, yeah.
it's definitely debatable. But he's
I-
talking about the sound. It sounded great.
Okay.
I'd agree with that.
I loved it, and the sound and the visuals were
That,
awesome.
you know, it doesn't surprise me that you loved it.
But I mean, I also like what's that movie you like, Red Dawn? Except I like the new one.
See, that's why it doesn't surprise me you like Mad Max Fury Road.
But what
Yeah,
was
bad taste.
But what was funny? There's a scene in Fury Road where obviously it's post-apocalyptic, and so you've got all these people at the base of the mountain, and you've got one dude up there basically controlling the water, and so he turns it on for about 5 seconds and then shuts it off, and all these people are just fighting over each other trying to get the water. Mm-hmm. And to me, that was very representative of Black Friday.
That's what he said he wrote that movie about.
I doubt that's what he said. And
It's not.
I would
I'm
like,
making
I would
it
like
up.
to
You had me
know.
going for about 3 seconds.
I would
I'm
like to
making
know
that up.
who he is.
Did Mel Gibson write Fury Road?
No.
I don't know. I'm just
But
guessing.
it's kind of funny to
Mel
me that
Gibson writes movies like Braveheart.
Well, he's
he
he's
writes
still
good
trying
flicks.
to
He
write.
writes good flicks.
Yeah.
He's still trying to write The Passion Part 2.
Well, it's already written. It's out there in the scripture.
I know, but like he's trying to figure it out.
Turn the chapter. It's
Yeah.
But it's so funny to me that these huge companies, I mean, and they basically, play down to less fortunate people, pretty much, and then they make them line up. I drove by because I was going to my deer camp, and that's a whole nother episode in and of itself. But I was going out to deer camp, and on Black Friday, so I was making my drive, and I drove by a car dealership.
Yeah.
Mel Hamlin Ford, and there were people in line, and I left early because I woke up and I was like, oh man, I'm just going to go now. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and there were cars lined up already at Milhelm.
What were they giving away?
I have no idea. So I had to actually go back and find out. It was like there were, I don't know, they were doing a drawing or whatever. And the first however many people, there were cars valued from $99 to $900. And then if you drew that number, that's what you paid for the car, something like that. You know, but again, it's just like, hey, we're going to turn the water on. You know, we're in this time where everything's more expensive. I have less money than I had last year and the year before. You know, I mean, because everything just costs relatively, you know, everything just costs more. And, you know, cost of living's gone up, but pays haven't increased. And so it's just so funny that they throw these little, I don't know, nuggets. There we go. Of things out there that it's like, oh, us poor people are just gonna fight over. And I'm not necessarily poor, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like,
let them eat cake.
Yeah, and it's just it's that whole society of people that you work for, Chet, that is just crazy to me.
That society provides.
I had to throw you in.
Yeah, whatever.
But no, it was just kind of crazy to me that I was watching that movie and I was like, that's exactly like Black Friday.
This is a statement on consumerism and the Western civilization.
So yeah, and I had this whole thing. I was going to be so fired up about talking about all these videos, and the only video I saw was there was a news crew that showed up to this store to catch the drama of Black Friday, and one dude goes walking in. Like they open the doors expecting just one dude to do.
Well, I think I'm really happy that COVID brought this on. That was an opportunity for everybody to take a break, like everybody is in the retailers, and say, you know what, we are not going to open back up on Thanksgiving. You know, because they got in this perpetual cycle of being open all the time, being open on Thanksgiving Day, being open for this, and they just all of a sudden were like, nope, COVID kind of shut all that down in the first place, and then we're not coming back with. When everything's open back up, we're not going to open back up on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, and then what I kind of like is, you know, most of the Walmarts pre-COVID were 24 hours a day. And now
most of them closed.
Most of them are closed. You know, they close at midnight or 11, whatever. And same way with, you know, like McDonald's, Taco Bell, all this stuff, which, you know, is a might bit inconvenient, you know, if you're out that late or you need to pick something up. But for the most part, hey, you don't have those people working those late shifts doing all that kind of stuff, and you know, I think they're better off, you know, not work.
Absolutely.
So, but anyway, so I was all fired up, and then lackluster because there were no good videos of people just trampling each other for $150 70-inch TV.
Well, so I will tell you, I went hunting on Thanksgiving morning and on Black Friday. There were more people out duck hunting on Thanksgiving Day than there was Black Friday, which makes me think that duck hunting has shifted to a bunch of shoppers. I think they were out shopping instead of...
well, that's good news for us.
Yeah, I didn't have to fight for a spot. Got down in my spot.
Did you get any?
Psh. Why are you even asking?
No, seriously, did you get any?
Yeah, I got it. Yes. Yeah.
How many?
One. I mean,
yeah. So that's about right.
100% of the ducks that we saw that came into the decoys we got.
Well, that's good. That's fantastic.
But anyway, that was what was on my mind, and just kind of got deflated when there was really nothing dramatic that I've seen that happened. So if something did happen, share it with us, and
I can
at least go off on a rant.
The beginning of last week, Black Friday sales started.
Who's really like doing a whole bunch of shopping right now anyway, though? Is there a lot of people that are like, oh, I can't wait to spend money?
Yeah, I don't know.
It costs $300 to fill up a grocery cart now. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say we've gotten most of our shopping done because we do it all when all the sales are going on, like for the kids and stuff for Christmas. So that's been nice.
I have 0 done.
Yeah,
Nothing.
we get it done early. All right. Well, for those of you that want to know, Mad Max Fury Road has an 8.1 out of 10 rating on IMDb.
Psh, it doesn't matter to me.
With 1.1 million people have voted on it.
How wide is the path that leads to destruction, Troy? Huh? Well, it's really wide, and a lot of people are on it. So don't you throw numbers at me.
I'm just saying. A lot of people like that movie.
No, they're just saying that because the critics said that it was good.
Oh, all right.
They don't want to be on the outs.
I never once saw what a critic wrote, but I walked into, I was buying a new receiver for my home theater system, and that movie was one of the options, and they had, like a 3-minute clip set up, and I sat down and listened to that and all of its glory, and I was like, I've got to watch, what movie is that? He's like, Mad Max Fury Road, and I was like, I'll go buy that right now because that was freaking awesome.
That's cool.
They almost got me on the speakers, but
Didn't do it.
They no,
Not for that price.
no, they were the yeah.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with our top 3 overused hunting terms. Are you driving traffic to your website? Do you have an engaging homepage? Better yet, does your homepage have a video? We recently created a video for a client about his business and the services they provide. Since he placed the video on the homepage of their website, he has had a number of clients specifically say they decided to use his services because of that video. At Trussell Media, we help businesses create engaging videos to host on their websites, email to clients, and use in their social media marketing. Contact us if you're interested in creating a video for your homepage today. TrussellMedia.com. Fill out the form at TrussellMedia.com/contact. Let us help you tell your story through video.
And we're back.
All right, we're back with our top 3 overused hunting terms. Chet?
Pause before we go.
What is it?
What, you have your hand raised? Go ahead.
Go. You said pause.
Pause.
He's pausing.
I'm pausing. We're not going to get into the top 3 just yet.
Okay.
Because it's Deer Week in Kansas.
Deer Week.
Deer Week this week.
Opening rifle, anyway.
We're recording
Starts
on
on
Monday.
Sunday, December 3rd, right? Is when it starts?
No, it starts on Wednesday, the day after tomorrow.
Ah, okay.
So 24 hours from now, I will be headed north to the Deer Woods, which is why we're recording on Monday, and this is going to be released on Thursday. And I've got some hype music. My son had a concert this weekend up at K-State, and I was just excited because I had just stopped by the deer camp on the way up there. And deer everywhere, by the way. Deer. Every time I've been up there, it's like the old days. Every time I go, I see deer. We were there for an hour, and two doe walked through camp while we were there. Like, through camp. Not on the property, just they're right there.
They're just going to say hi.
They're all over the place, and I'm excited about it. And this is what's going on in my head. Like, it's just this build of excitement. It's just, oh, it's Monday. Guess what I'm going to be doing Wednesday morning?
Cleaning a deer.
I'll tell you, and it's my number 1 most overused hunting term.
Yeah. And then that's what I'm thinking about deer season. But when I actually shoot that big buck,
Wah, wah, wah.
no, this is going in my head. This is a bad song, by the way. You don't need to look it up. It's by Kendrick Lamar called Humble. Don't do it.
Now people are doing it.
Energy. I'm excited.
Chet's excited.
We'll kill some deer. I've got
Thanks to the
3 tags.
K-State marching band there.
All right, 3 tags, and I'm going to lay them down. I think on Wednesday. I think Wednesday I'm going to be tagged out. That's my idea anyway.
I think that's hopeful.
So by the time this podcast releases,
Ooh,
I will be processing deer the rest of the week.
usually when you get cocky, that's when you start.
Dude,
Here's
I
what
haven't
I'm
had
gonna,
this level of confidence in years.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. You got them come through camp, you're going to get the 1.
What do you get the 1?
Yeah, you may get one on like,
I'm going to go down to my stand,
yeah,
the new one,
the big one.
and I'm going to kill a big buck.
Okay.
Wednesday morning.
Right.
Then I'm going to come back and take a nap, eat some breakfast.
Then you're going to go out in the
No,
afternoon.
no. I'm going to wake up and look out the window of the cabin, shoot another one, walking through camp. And then that evening, I'm going to go to a different spot, my second stand, and kill a third one.
And of those 3, which one are you giving me?
No. Two for Sears household in Wichita and 1 for Sears in Manhattan.
Look, 1 deer is way too much for a college kid.
No, it's not.
Look.
That dude's gonna hate. That's all he's got to eat is just the deer. That's it. He's gonna have deer meat and rice.
All right. Well, I mean, this could be a whole nother what's on.
I could tag. If you need another one, I'll get another one. I mean, I got to hunt more than one day. Well, you got to save me something to do on Thursday.
Man, that's gonna be a sad story.
If you don't have any success there, you can come down to my camp, and I guarantee a deer.
Yeah, well, I can do that now in my place.
But my Black Friday was more like black mold.
Yeah, he has a leak.
So,
that sucks.
The ceiling in the dining room has officially caved in.
Oh,
the ceiling in the master bedroom is all mold and.
Oh, I didn't see that picture.
That's where I sent you, where it was all bubbled up.
Okay,
that's master bedroom. So, I got an insurance claim going on right now, but it's safe to say that I'm not sleeping in deer camp with the black mold spores.
I told you I'd lend you my tent.
Not happening. No, I've done my fair share of hunting out of a tent, and then graduating to a pop-up camper, moving
then a bumper
moving
pole.
up into a bumper pole, and then getting a cabin. I'm not regressing.
Well, you can set it up on your deck, and then like go in and use the bathroom.
No,
and cook.
No, because the mice chewed the wire for the thermostat, so I can't turn the heat on. So I can't turn the water on because I can't keep if it's cold like it is now. I can't keep that water from freezing. So.
Yeah, you got problems. I may have to kill you a deer. I'm not doing it out of pity though.
A lot of problems.
all right. Top 3, Chet.
Okay. Top 3 overused hunting terms. I took a little liberty here.
I bet you did.
The term of giving bucks names.
Okay.
When you look at all your game camera footage and you name all the deer that are on there.
Oh, that's old Hammerhead.
Yeah, there's old Zeus. I'm calling him Zeus because he's massive, like a Greek god. Or we'll call him Kickstand because he has drop tine. Stop it. Nobody needs that.
Kickstand.
Just
I guarantee you, there's been a deer named Kickstand.
Oh, look at Big Nasty. Oh, he's Big Nasty.
I agree with you 120% on this. I cannot stand
He's got
it.
a lot of little trashy points all over him. Let's call him Trashy. Stickers. He's got stickers. Anyway, that needs to stop. It's overused. I don't like it. I'll go. You guys, tell me if you have this one. Smoked him.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll go with that one. I got a couple that I could have gone with there. Smoked him. Just say you shot it.
Just straight up smoked him.
Yeah. You smoke pork butts. You don't smoke deer with a gun. Like, that's just not how it works. Or a bow of all things. And then number 1.
Now, the caveat to that, if you are hunting black powder,
it's smokeless powder now.
No, from Flint, like back in the day, you get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoked him.
Okay. Yeah, but nobody does that, by the way. Number 1, half years. If you say that buck was 3.5 years old,
3.5.
it's overused, and you got to stop doing it. It's lame.
It just celebrated its half birthday.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's a 2.5-year-old buck. Shut up with the half years. Nobody needs to hear that. It's overused. And I'll give you an honorable mention that none of you guys have. And it doesn't have to do with terms. But when you're talking about shooting at something from a hunting perspective and people mimic that they're holding their gun, if you do it with your fists sideways, like, oh, the ducks came in from left or right, and I was like, bow, 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 and you're holding your fist like this, stop it. That is the lamest thing ever.
That's pretty dumb.
Just act like you're holding a gun for real. You don't do this. You know people that do. I know somebody that does that.
I've seen it.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not cool.
He's probably listening.
That's an honorable mention.
Stop doing it, man. You know who
Stop
you
it.
are. You know who you are.
Nobody holds a gun that way.
I'm one of them.
Are you?
One of them. Yeah.
You do both hands like that?
I can't help. Well, I'm trying to think if I'm. We're gonna have to just like do it naturally.
You're not
like,
shooting the old grease gun from World War II where the magazine sticks out the side.
You don't know what I'm shooting. Okay. I may or may not have one.
I'm just saying you need to stop doing. As your friend, I'm looking out for you.
It's just like when you're.
You do it.
It's like what do I?
You look more natural with it the wrong way.
I feel like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Well, you don't do this. You don't. Ah!
And there I was.
Yeah, that's like, come on. That's
Put him up.
Wizard of Oz, the lion.
The lion, yeah. Put your one hand behind my back.
All right, that's my top 3, and with an honorable mention.
What you got, Matt?
All right, number 3. If it flies, it dies. If it's brown, it's down.
All right.
I can't stand it because number 1, it's illegal. Okay, we like to follow the laws here.
Whoa.
For the most part.
Well, the first one, you kill it. Every waterfowl out there. Oh, you're just saying anything that flies, like a bald eagle.
Yeah, I mean, if it flies, it dies. I mean, it comes across because I've seen people like that.
I'll tell you right now
That
I kind of like the rhyming. If it rhymes, you get a little bit of grace on my side.
If you're going to fry something, and you put a little toothpick in it, if the bubbles rise, it's time to fry.
Yeah, you lost me on that, big time.
Huh?
Rise, flies,
Fry.
Troy, this
Fries.
was like this was on par to be probably one of the best podcasts we've ever had. And
I just ruined it. Wait. If the bubbles are rising, it's time to start frying. That's what it is.
That's not
That's what it is.
You can't bring it back. It's already there.
I'm gonna
you have killed
You
it.
cannot
I'm gonna
recover
edit all
from
this
that.
out. It's gonna be perfect.
It's
can't
brown
recover.
and it's down.
This episode won't recover from that. If you happen to still be with us, Matt, what's the next one on your list?
Oh, I'm not done with number
Did
3.
you hear the sound? That was the sound of everybody skipping to the next.
Right, they're like, "What is this? What is this guy?"
Skip 30 seconds.
But the if it's brown, it's down. Just from you're like that. You've said it.
I know.
I hate it.
I like that it rhymes. That just means I'm shooting. I'm going to kill something
All right,
with
and
me.
then so number 2 is kind of along the lines same as you, but it's target buck. And so that had to do with naming, naming the deer, and then,
And that, just for our listeners that aren't hunters, that doesn't mean it's a deer that's inside of Target department store. It means that there's only one deer you're trying to shoot this year, and
that's the one you're going
That's the
for. That's the
one.
one.
Everything
you're
else is
putting all
gonna
your time
walk.
in, and and that's one of the reasons that I stopped using cameras altogether. I don't put cameras out anymore, because you start to hesitate, or you start to wait on one buck that may never.
Yeah, he may be on. Somebody else may have shot him.
Yeah, and so I think that cameras for me kind of ruin the experience, because I like being surprised at what comes out. I know I've got some great deer. I know I've got a lot of deer. I know I'm going to get to see a ton of them, and if I'm not convinced in that moment to shoot one, I'll take a doe.
I'll tell you, I don't go through that whole process, or I wouldn't call it a target buck anyway. Because the longer a deer stays in front of me, the odds that I'm going to shoot it increase.
Yeah.
Directly. It's a factor of time.
Oh, yeah.
If there's like a little bitty tiny 8-point that walks out there, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to shoot him, and then he's gone, I don't feel bad about it. But if he stays out there for 30 minutes, like, man, should I shoot him?
No,
I may shoot him.
It probably tastes good.
What if another buck comes out here?
I'm the opposite on bucks.
Yeah.
The longer that buck stays in front of me, the more I convince myself that he's not shootable.
Yeah.
And then I'll end up like a doe. The longer a doe stays there, it's like This just turned into, or the second she goes,
Yeah.
it's over. Like, that one's dead.
Yeah. When you realize that a buck isn't following her, then it's like, oh, okay.
I just shoot the first deer that shows up every time.
3 times.
You shoot at the first deer that walks out there. Weren't we supposed to talk about something about deer stand height?
Oh my gosh. So scrolling through Facebook and this photo comes up of this tree stand that's about a foot off the ground, and it's, tree stands or tree stand hunting for people with a fear of heights.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Chet, and I was like, I can't believe that we haven't talked about Troy's tree stand on this podcast yet.
So the story, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had a lease up close to ours in Waubonsee County, and you were seeing all kinds of deer. And at some point you were complaining that you couldn't turn around and get on a deer without spooking it.
Yeah, something I was only like 10 feet in the air.
Well, we didn't know that. You're like, I'm in my tree stand. You're like, I'm in my tree stand.
Troy, that was not 10 feet.
And so we were like, well, man, I can't believe the deer's seen you when you're up in a ladder stand. Like that's one of the reasons you're in a ladder stand, so it's hard to be seen. And then Matt and I, in the spring or something, or we're putting corn out for you. Yeah, you asked us to go over there and do something. Check your camera. I can't remember what it was. We go driving up. What do we see?
Troy's stand is eye level with the feeder. Like the deer, he's like eye to eye with the deer. Like it's no different than sitting in a camping chair. Like he's.
It was not that. It was 10 feet.
Absolutely not 10 feet.
The bottom half of the stand, the ladder wasn't even installed. So that was a 15-foot ladder stand.
It was as high as I could get up in that tree.
It was a 15-foot ladder stand without the 10 feet on it. So you were 5 feet off the ground, which is
maybe
like you were standing
I've got
there.
pictures to prove this nonsense.
That may have been after we got onto you about it and you decided to go up higher.
We were like, is that his stand? It was like right there, right? Eye level
like,
with this.
Like his feet. I mean, they're right there.
Yeah. Well, now we know why the deer were seeing you, because you were at eye level with the deer.
I shot 2 deer.
I know you
from
did
that stand,
but we know also why some deer spotted you so easily.
Well, it was 10 feet at least.
No,
it was one of the greatest what the heck moments
we just started cracking up
hunting wise I've ever seen, is driving up and being like, "That's it."
Is that
doesn't make any sense to me?
Kill deer out of it.
You did, and you saw some good deer out of that too.
Yeah. That's when I shot that 10-point.
Did you recover that one, Troy?
I could have jumped on him and ridden him because I was so low.
That was the shoot.
All right, what, you got any more on your list?
That was the buck and shoot. Number 1, Chet missed again.
That's your number 1?
It's my number 1.
Why are you tired of hearing that? I always love hearing that one.
It's so overused. Like you hear it all the time.
I missed?
Yeah.
When have I missed?
All the time.
With what?
Legitimately anything that you put in your hands. Rifle, shotgun, pistol.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Chet, look, you just need to lower your deer stand.
Get on
eye level.
Get on a level.
You're just making that up because I beat you in every shooting competition we've ever held.
That's false. That's complete falsification.
All right, let me just, before that gets going, I got a top 3.
Do you?
Number 3, stabbed.
Yeah, I stabbed him.
Stabbed him. Yeah, no, you didn't. Unless you had to get down and really knife him,
which
we know you don't do.
Which I don't do.
You got to call in the reinforcements.
Yeah, I go wave at him and get my arrow.
Yeah, it's like I'll be right back.
I've got that trail camera footage somewhere of you walking out and being like. And that deer is just sitting up looking at you like, why?
We haven't deer hunted together. Please. The audience, what's so astonishing here is we really haven't spent that much time deer hunting together, but boy, do we have some funny stories in just a short amount of time.
Number 2, kind of like naming your deer, I had up and comer.
Yep.
I can't stand it.
That
deer's an up and coming basket. Basket rack.
What do they say? Give him another year.
Yeah.
Up and comer needs another year.
Needs another year.
And then number 1, I had ground check. Ground check.
What is that one?
It's where you ground check something, shoot it, kill it, and
then go find out what it was. Oh, that's shooting it after like finishing it off?
No. That's the first shot.
My dad always said duck hunting. I say always said when I just hunted with him. Well, after I got into duck hunting, which was not in the household as I was already out of the house and married. But we were duck hunting together, and he's like, "What is that?" And I said, "I'm pretty sure that's like a ringneck or something like that." He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna." He's like, "If we shoot it, it's a lot easier to tell what it is after it's dead and on the ground." Yeah. Like, I don't know if we want to. It may not be legal. He's like, "Well, we'll know for sure if it's dead in looking at it very up close."
That's good. Well, that's a good top 3. All right, Chet, you want to finish this off here
with a good word?
With a good word.
Wrestle. Actually, it's wrestle. Is the good word. So
Wrestle.
Jacob, you know the story of Jacob?
Yeah, wrestled with God.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. And so, not to give you all of the background here, but Jacob, you remember Jacob and Esau, and there's Esau sold Jacob his birthright.
Yep.
For a bowl of soup. Must have been a really good bowl of soup. And then later, he fooled Isaac in getting the blessing from, which typically would have gone to Esau. Not necessarily firstborn gets the blessing every time. But anyway, he put hair on his arms. His mom, Rachel, helped him out, right? Rebecca helped him out to get all the hide on his arms, and she cooked a meal like Esau would have cooked it, and
yeah, because Isaac
was
see,
blind.
And yeah.
So anyway, he bolted after that because Esau said, "I'll take pleasure in killing you, boy. I'm done with you." And then 20 some odd years later, Jacob is coming back into town, and a lot has happened. Jacob got married a couple times. He had multiple wives and his family. He was extremely wealthy, had all kinds of livestock, and he's coming back because God had told him that through him, like he had told his father Isaac and like he told his grandfather Abraham, he told all of them that through them, he's going to save the world, basically. Basically, the lineage of Jesus or the Messiah is going to come through this family, and the number of his children are going to be more than the stars in the sky. We now know that that's not physical children, but that was the spiritual children that are going to come, not just from his family, but from all of Christianity. So anyway, he's coming back in, and he's scared because Esau is going to come, and he thinks, because the last time he talked to Esau 20-some odd years ago, Esau was like, "I'm going to kill you when I get a chance." So he prays, and this is in Genesis chapter 32, verse 9. Jacob prayed, "O God, my father, O God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, Lord, you who said to me, 'Go back to your country and your relatives, and I will make you prosper,' I am unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown your servant. I had only my staff when I crossed this Jordan, but now I have become 2 camps. Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid he will come and attack me, and also the mothers with their children. But you have said, I will surely make you prosper and will make your descendants like the sands of the sea, which cannot be counted." So he's saying, "God, you told me this, and you told me to come home. I'm coming home, and Esau's coming after me, and all my family's with me, and he's going to kill all of us. So if you said what you said, if that was true, I need you to come and make something happen because I'm about to die." And then there's all kinds of things that happen there, splitting his camp up so he could try to evade some of this and somebody could survive. But then that night in verse 22, Jacob got up and took his 2 wives and his female servants and his 11 sons and crossed the foot of Jabbok. And then he sent them across the stream, and he sent over all his possessions with them. So he was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. He said, "Then the man said, 'Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome.' Jacob said, 'Please tell me your name.' But he replied, 'Why do you ask my name?' Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, 'It's because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared.'" What do you think about that?
I've always just wrestled with that story.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just odd.
Me too. I always just thought back of on it like Jacob had a dream that he was wrestling, but this is clear that it's not a dream.
Yeah.
And then if you go back, well, actually go forward and you look at, Moses and Exodus and him going up and getting the tablets, and then he's like, "God, I want to see you." And he's like, "If you see me, you're dead."
Right.
Right. And I will allow my glory to walk in front of you.
He could only see the backside of him.
And after that, Moses glowed in the dark, so much so that he wore a veil because it scared everybody else.
Well, and
So
the
then-
same thing happened to Jesus when he went up on the mountain.
Transfiguration.
The transfiguration. He glowed.
So then you're thinking, well, how is this Jacob wrestling with God if he could actually touch and feel and wrestle and not die or glow?
My thoughts were pre-incarnate Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus existed before.
Right.
He was the triune God, right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit have existed together for all time.
Well, there's also people have said that Jesus, pre-incarnate Jesus, was actually Melchizedek as well.
Okay, I did not study that for this lesson, but
I've heard that been said.
Yeah.
I don't. It's all like gray area in the
Right.
Bible. Like there could be, could not. Like, I
well,
don't
what we know, and this is why I think it's Jesus. We know that it's God, right? It may not be God the Father. It's God. We know that God the Father wouldn't let Moses look on him because he couldn't handle it.
Right.
Man couldn't handle it.
Yeah, he would die.
So, but it's also saying clearly in Scripture that this is God. So the one part of God that we know that humans have touched and felt and been with and could have wrestled with would be Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Then you wonder, he wrestled with him. And I think it's pretty powerful that God had already told him, through you, your descendants are going to be, we're not going to be able to count them. And Jacob at this time was praying for God to save him, because if you told me what was true, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
And then this dude shows up and they wrestle all night. And apparently Jacob was a scrapper because, God touched his hip and broke it. And Jacob still wouldn't let go. And he said, "I'm not going to let go until you
Bless
do
me.
what you said you were going to do." And God listened to that. Jesus listened and knew all this was going to happen. But there was this tension, if you will, that and God has told us that we are going to be fully righteous, but we all struggle, right? I'm not fully righteous today from my behavior standpoint. I know in God's view I am, because I'm covered by the blood of Christ. But if there are things in our life as far as how close our relationship is with God, wrestle with him over that. Don't just accept that Esau is going to kill you. Battle it out. Let him know you want this. I'm willing to fight for this, and maybe God will bless you for that in helping you get closer to him. And it's not. I think it's great that he's not a God of don't be afraid to challenge me. Yes, I did commit this to you, and well, you committed this to me. Well, where is it? I'm about to die. What's going on here? And they're struggling with that all night. And then at the end, he's like, "You know what? I'm going to change your name. You're a different person now." And from that, he got up, brought his family back together and said, "Let's go meet Esau." Like he's like, "Okay, I'm not scared anymore. I've wrestled with God over this, and he's changed my name. He's reaffirmed what he said he was going to do, I will go face all my fears. They're not even fears anymore. And Esau was waiting with 400 men and wasn't mad. He was like, come on, dude, it's good to see you. Like you've got a family. This is great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm summarizing and paraphrasing. But there's just so much in this passage. What you think is going to happen isn't necessarily what's going to happen. Don't let it paralyze you. And hold fast to what God has promised you. And it's okay to wrestle with him over that. You don't have to just sit back and say, well, woe is me. None of this is working out like I thought it would. Go to God. Go to him and struggle with him. It's okay. This is in the Bible for a reason, for us. So wrestle is my good word.
Man, that's really good. What passage is that?
Genesis chapter 32. I read starting in verse 9 a passage, and then verse 22 is the wrestling match.
Yeah, if you want to dive a little deeper, Genesis 32, go check it out.
Yeah, Jacob is fascinating in and of itself because the dude was not.
Well,
something.
All those. Well, you can say Old Testament, but all the guys, all of them in the Bible, they're just as human as we were. Man, they struggled. So, and I heard somebody say just this past Sunday, I think it was our pastor said. He quoted somebody saying that God made it a point to point out all of the main characters of the Bible, to point out every little flaw that they had, because the Bible's not about them being the hero. The Bible's about God being the hero.
Yeah, I'd argue that it wasn't every flaw, but the big ones.
But the major ones, yeah. So thought that was pretty cool. Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.